Welcome to another episode of Eye on KZN. Coming up on the show, we find out what the festive season has in store for KwaZulu-Natal and what it means for the local economy. Plus, we look at some of the tourist attractions this coastal destination has to offer, from walks in the bush to a restaurant off the beaten track, and more. KwaZulu-Natal has pulled out all the stops to ensure that its visitors have a memorable stay during the festive season. The province, which has long held its own as the preferred destination for domestic tourists, kicked off its festive season plans with KZN this summer, an annual campaign which the province uses to declare its state of readiness for the thousands of holidaymakers who descend upon its shores over the festive season.
KwaZulu-Natal is ready to welcome all tourists coming from all provinces within the country, but also tourists coming from the continent. It is well known that when it comes to domestic tourism, we are leading in KwaZulu-Natal, and that is because of hospitality we give and offer to our visitors, but also because of services we give, but more importantly because of the number of tourist destinations and tourist sites we have in KwaZulu-Natal, which are very attractive and beautiful and which keep people, families and individuals entertained.
The region's world-class infrastructure and pristine beaches are just two areas enticing tourists to this destination. The province's air connectivity strategy, which sought to introduce more direct international flights into KwaZulu-Natal, has bolstered the province's reputation among international travelers.
Starting with our beaches, 9 of our beaches have been awarded with the blue flag, and therefore that on its own it's excellent. For us, at an international level, if tourists from anywhere in the world arrive, then they will be able to go to beaches. We've got more than 9 beaches in KwaZulu-Natal which have the blue flags. But also we've got a world-class airport in the form of King Shaka International Airport. It's excellent, it offers, but more than that, we've been able to have to secure direct flight from various parts of the world. Whether you talk of Namibia, you talk of Zimbabwe, you talk of Botswana, you talk of Ethiopia, Qatar also comes here, and other Turkish airline. They fly to KwaZulu-Natal direct, coming here to King Shaka.
The MEC added that the tourism industry remained a key contributor to growing the economy of KwaZulu-Natal. In the province, tourism contribution to the gross regional domestic product in 2015 stood at around 30 billion rand. FEDHASA is the national trade association for the hospitality industry that includes accommodation and catering sectors and has been representing the industry since 1949. Charles Priest, operations manager for the East Coast at FEDHASA, says that this festive season could be one of their busiest yet.
Well, it's going to be a bumper season for Durban because it kicks off very early in the month with a big Christian conference that has, to my knowledge, is about 3,000 delegates. That'll fill the majority of hotels down here. And that goes on for nearly a week. And then come the school holidays. So my information is that this December will be a record month for Durban. Well, all over the province, tourism is growing. And I don't want to just focus on Durban because we've got the wonderful areas outside of Durban. The Drakensberg, over the last 10 years, the Drakensberg has become a destination not just for local tourism, but for international tourism as well. We've seen good growth in both segments. Now that hopefully we've got a little more rain up in the northern parts of the province, it's also a beautiful part of the countryside and attracts a lot of tourism. So it's not just Durban, we've also got the South Coast, which has its own market.
It is a tourist hotspot because firstly, we've got beaches, warm beaches in KwaZulu-Natal with lovely hotels which provide very excellent hospitality. But more than that, we've got very excellent tourist destinations such as Drakensberg, Drakensberg Mountain. We've got Ismangaliso Wasteland. We've got the coast where people enjoy themselves. So KwaZulu-Natal offers a lot.
The Isimangaliso Wetland Park was listed as South Africa's first World Heritage Site in 1999 in recognition of its natural beauty and unique global values. The 332,000 hectare park contains 3 major lake systems, 8 interlinking ecosystems, 700-year-old fishing traditions, 526 bird species, and 25,000-year-old vegetated coastal dunes, among the highest in the world.
Isimangaliso means miraculous or miracle, and really is. Under Nelson Mandela's cabinet, it was put forward as South Africa's first World Heritage Site because it certainly was seen and is seen as South Africa's natural wonderland. And what makes it exciting is you can be swimming in the beaches in the morning, at lunchtime get to see rhinos, and then go for a boat cruise and see hippos and crocodiles. So it's a park you can really do things in. You can swim, you can snorkel, you can hike on beaches, you can go out and see the Big Five, or just chill in one of the many facilities. It's a World Heritage Site, which means it's among the best of the best in the world. And when you become a World Heritage Site, you also have to say where else is the place that's the same or similar. And there is no other place on the globe which is the same as Isimangaliso. And that's largely Lake St. Lucia. It's the largest estuarine lake in Africa. It's the oldest proclaimed estuary in Africa. It's 350 square kilometers. And Isimangaliso takes up almost 7% of South Africa's coastline. So it's a natural wonderland, but I think importantly as well, Mandela recognized very strongly the need for restitution, both of nature, getting back animals that had been decimated by hunters and by colonials and during apartheid, and also restitution for people. So it's a very important people's park. We have 640,000 neighbors, and the park's a very important source of income for them, but also spiritually it's very important for them.
The Isimangaliso Wetland Park has a variety of accommodation offerings, from camping to catered lodges.
Yeah, the way we've tried to do accommodation is in the park is improve what we call day visitor facilities. So you can come in here in your own vehicle and drive. You can come in with a tour vehicle. There are picnic sites, there are hides, there are beach spots. But also in the park and around the park, there's a range of accommodation from your 6-star millionaire kind of place to stay through to campsites, through to self-catering. And then, of course, the town of St. Lucia, which is surrounded by World Heritage Site, offers almost 2,500 tourism beds, and that's everything from campsites to self-catering to small boutique facilities where you get breakfast or a good supper. There are about 8 or 9 restaurants. So you really get the best of the bush and the best of a small village.
At the Isimangaliso Wetland Park, you can enjoy the endless beaches that stretch 220 kilometers from Mapelane in the south to Cozy Bay on the Mozambique border. View game on self-guided or guided trails, or embark on adventures ranging from kayak trips to horse rides.
From this end of the park, you can go horse riding, whale watching, scuba diving, deep sea fishing, just go and swim on the beach, self-drive on a game drive, or go out with a professional tour operator who will pluck a chameleon for you off a tree at night time. And the other thing that's also not really known about Isimangaliso is our leopard population is really something. We have the highest density of leopards in South Africa, and you often joke about the big 7 because you got whales and coelacanths right next to elephants and cheetah and lions and the rest.
KwaZulu-Natal prides itself on the work they do to keep their beaches safe. The KwaZulu-Natal coastline is the only coastline with 37 beaches equipped with bather safety gear, owned and maintained by the KZN Sharks Board Maritime Centre of Excellence in South Africa. The CEO of the KZN Sharks Board, Mtokozisi Radebe, says there are 3 gifts that KZN offers its visitors.
One of them is the beautiful people of KZN. They're receptive, they smile, they're warm, but also the beautiful weather here. We call it KZN is summer, it's always summer all the time because 365 days practically you've got sun and beautiful beaches to then explore. And the third gift is Sharks Board, obviously. We are the gift because without us, you guys wouldn't go to the sea. You wouldn't go anywhere near the sea because of the fear of the sharks. And we believe that we provide a good service to the KZN citizenry, but also to the world, because people come here, especially over this festive season, because at the back of their minds, they've got safety because of our presence at the sea, and we contribute directly in that respect to the GDP of the province and also to ecotourism and recreation.
The KZN Sharks Board has been protecting bathers for 54 years and hasn't had a fatal shark attack in the past 38 years.
We go out to sea in the morning. We use what we call the mixed gear. a mixture of the nets as well as the drum lines. We call it the safety gear. At some beaches we've got the combination of both. In some beaches we've got just the nets. In some beaches it's just the drum lines only. And we've been doing it for 54 years. I mean, the miraculous thing about it is this, in spite of the fact that this is not a solid proof, it's not like a rock solid where the shark can't swim underneath the net and above the net or around the net. Still, miraculous, for the last 38 years, we haven't had a fatal shark attack in any one of the protected beaches of our coast. Contrast that with what is happening elsewhere. Hardly a week or a month or a day passes without someone being taken by a shark. Whereas in this province, thankfully, because of the sharks board, we are protected.
KZN Sharks Board not only keeps the bathers safe, but also has key supporting activities, including educational outreach and marine tourism programs to create awareness about safe bathing and the marine environment.
Well, apart from the shark dissection show that I'm referring to and our movie that we play for you before the dissection show starts, we also take you to the Wilson's Wharf where we take off to sea. We launch from there and we go to sea. But also we've now included, because we are at the sea all the time, we're in the ocean every day, we've included what we call the blue economy, the ocean economy, the operation package, so that we can then teach students how to skipper the boat as well. We train skipper cadets, we train students on the maritime. We take people that can't swim at all, that have never been to sea at all. We start them and then we take them to advanced swimming, and then we train them to become commercial divers. And all of that is happening within the maritime unit that we started in 2012.
After the break, the Prawn Shack, a restaurant with a difference, and walking with rhinos. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Eye on KZN. If you're looking for a dining experience with a difference, look no further than the Prawn Shack. The Prawn Shack is around 115 kilometers from Durban on the north coast. Bill Budd is the founder of this establishment. The Prawn Shack was originally located next to the Amatikulu prawn farm. Unfortunately, the farm couldn't compete with cheap imports and closed down. However, the restaurant kept going and has been serving guests ever since.
So this is Matikulu, but it's the older side of Matikulu, so we're near Dogudweni Beach. So people always get confused and they always go to the other side of Matikulu where the beach is actually stated. So we're on the lagoon side of things. So that's we closer to Dogudweni Beach. Okay, so it started about 13 years ago. Initially started as the place for my boss actually just to have fun with friends. Started on the beach and eventually he made it to what it is today, which is a long lazy lunch, 7-course meal. Starts at 12, finishes at 5. It's a long version of it, but I'll give you the short version. It's on our website, which is www.shack, and it's shak.co.za. So, wild caprese salad, the Lani prawn bunny, prawn bis, prawn platter. Lionfish used to be one of them. Now we do tortillas, and we do Zulu sushi and camembert. People from all around, from Cape Town, Joburg, they just want to relax. So as you walk in, you did see the sign that says you are leaving your comfort zone, and that is exactly what we do. We sell an experience, and that's really what we do.
150 kilometers north of the Prawn Shack, you'll find the Kluklue Mfolozi Park, set in the heart of Zululand, the oldest game reserve in Africa. One of the most recent lodges added to the park is Rhino Ridge Safari Lodge, part of the Isibindi Africa Lodges portfolio.
Okay, Rhino Ridge is the first private lodge in the Kluklue Mfolozi Park, which is actually the oldest proclaimed game reserve in Africa. So quite a good step for us in getting the first private lodge in the park. Yeah, we've got these incredible views that we look over the park. We are within the park. And it's a great partnership between the community and Isibindi Africa and some other partners. And it was land that was earmarked more than 12 years ago by the community and Ezemvelo as potential for tourism. And they fenced it then. And it's taken that long to actually get the permissions and get the investors on board and then drop the fences between that parcel of land and the actual game reserve. So we're within the park, we have these incredible views over the park, and obviously the community benefits hugely. So So what we're trying to help create is basically a human fence between the communities and the park, so that the communities actually benefit from the park. They will, once they've settled some of their loans from the government, they will have a 50% stake in the lodge. They already have a 30% ownership, and most of the jobs come from here. So, yeah, in effect, I mean, we're creating, for every tourist bed, we're creating 2 jobs. So it's very exciting. 60 odd staff employed here, and about 45 of them from the local community. And a lot of those staff had never worked before in this industry here. So it's very exciting for them. We've upskilled them, we've put them through training, and they're delivering great service. In fact, it's one of the comments that we get here from our guests is just how fantastic our staff are. They really are proud of what they've got here in their community.
Rhino Ridge offers a variety of activities, including game drives and visits to the neighbouring communities.
With our current offering, we do game drives. The capture bomas are quite interesting to visit, about half an hour's drive from the lodge. And they have orphaned rhino there. They have rhino that they've caught that are going to be translocated, and you can actually go to the bomas and be within a few meters of these huge animals there. So that's quite exciting. And then we also do visits to the community. So the community is nearby, and we can take our guests and they can just go and see a modern Zulu family, how they live, interact with them, chat to their children, go to the little school nearby. So, but it's really about the experience of being in the park and the activities around that. We've established a trails business as a partnership between Nuno Jobe and Isibindi Africa Lodges. And Nuno is now running trails from Rhino Ridge, and very exciting. He was previously the head trails guide for Ezemvelo in the Umfolozi Wilderness Trails. And yeah, he's a huge success. It's a great walking area. So that's one of the areas where we are expanding.
Nuno Jobe has been walking the Kluwe Mfolozi Park for over 8 years. He describes walking the reserve as therapy for the soul.
When I came here to Rhino, I came to, as I said, December last year. That was the beginning, but we started like putting the business name, which is June. It's called Isibindi Africa Trails. That is the company that I'm working for, and I'm a director of that company as well. Yeah, we hope we go far. We go really other African countries due to the fact that it's a walking business. So I can see that people are hungry for walking. You know, that's where they discover themselves more than driving. You know, driving is nice. You can cover long distances, but when you're walking, short distance, but you get close, like how close we were. You can see how beautiful is it. You can see how beautiful the place, and it's very quiet, so it's so unique. I'd say you feel close, you know, close to nature, and realize that how small we are. Remember, we're always claiming that we are on top of the food chain, of which I don't believe in that. I think we're all the same in this planet. Whatever that we never created, so there is no reason for us to destroy it. So we need to try to live in harmony with everyone. You know, this is a huge space for human to think that is dominant. And yeah, so when you walk, I call it a therapist. You know, I'm a therapist, so I try to make sure that everyone realizes that we belong to this planet and need to live in harmony with others. Showing the people really the real things and trying to calm them down and say, guys, life is very, very simple. So yeah, I think that's what I really enjoyed on my job. At the other hand, at the moment, because I'm in a business, so to see maybe creating jobs for other South Africans, of which everyone is crying, more especially in Africa, we all say there's no job opportunities. We're always pointing fingers at the government, but what are we doing as well? You know, that's the biggest problem. That's why I said I'm happy to start my own business here as the working company, with the hope that definitely I'm going to employ more and teach others and say, no guys, there's no reason to keep pointing fingers, you know, you need to do something. So that's why I'm smiling and I'm happy doing it. Yeah. 100
kilometers north of Kluwe Mfolozi Park is a small town called Jozini in the northeastern region of KwaZulu-Natal. It is situated on the main route to Mozambique and is synonymous with the dam of the same name, the Jozini or Pongola Poort Dam. Michael Gumede, owner of Ibandla Hotels, is building a hotel in this area, hoping to give back to the community he grew up in.
I started a hotel in Ballito called Ibandla Hotel and Conference Center. The reason for me to start that one is that whenever I needed venues as a black man in Durban, it was always very difficult to find a venue. But then I then started that hotel. It took a couple of years to do that. But when it was completed, I saw it working beautifully, everybody appreciating from all walks of life. I therefore realized that from my own area, there was nothing which is done by a person of my nature. Then I said, let me come to Jozini and look for a place which I could then build it up and contribute to my own community where I'm born and bred. All the people are working here, all of them. There's few from Swaziland, which is in our border, few from Mozambique, but the majority of them, they all come from around. They are working now as we are busy constructing the hotel. They'll be working more as soon as we finish the area. And also from the area itself, I've always said, people can't even stay here, can't even spend money here. We're saying people must come from all over and be part of us and spend money around us. So that's the economy. We would like the economy to be sort of revolving around the area.
Gumede is hoping the Katembe Bridge, a bridge being built in Mozambique, which is said will reduce the travelling time to and from Mozambique, remarkably, will be a catalyst for tourism growth in the area.
I've been to the Eastern Route tour twice, and I know the route very well because Mozambique is not far from where we are. We realized that if people take about 8 hours to come to South Africa. Now it's going to take about 2 hours. You'll be in South Africa. And that is the gate. This is actually the gateway towards Johannesburg, Mozambique, Durban. So where we are, we think that it will be an important thing that people will be happy to use this route. And when they use this route, when they are tired, we'll be here to save them.
The Jozini or Pongalaput Dam River supports a massive population of fish, hippos and crocodiles, as well as the people who live in the area. The dam lies in between the majestic Ubombo and Lebombo mountains on the Elephant Coast and covers over 16,000 hectares. It has become a very popular tiger fishing destination, and because the dam borders with the Pangola Nature Reserve and Game Reserve, you can view wildlife from your boat. Jozini Tiger Adventures, in partnership with the Jozini Tiger Lodge, offers a variety of activities on the dam.
Right, basically Jozini Tiger Adventures, which is our company, we are separate from the lodge itself, which is Tiger Lodge Jozini itself. Basically we help each other out. So the guests from the lodge will come fishing with us, our fishing guests will stay at the lodge itself. So we help each other out. No one really gets commission, it's just more like a partnership. We have 27 species of fish here. Most common ones that you'll find are the tiger fish. And then we do have a lot of other things such as bream, tilapia, we have eels, barbels, very rare yellowfish and carp. And that's about it. Well, firstly and biggest, tiger fishing. That's why you come here. Big thing is tiger fishing. We also do game cruises. So basically go out on the water to open water. We look at animals, do a bit of a cruise, have a bit of a lunch, nice and relaxed, and then finally a sunset. So it's from 4 to 6. All we do, you get a few drinks, sit on a nice big boat, chongalanga, and do a bit of a relaxed cruise around. It's about 2 hours long, and it's just relax.
MEC Sikle Zikalala says the province is more than ready for the visitors visiting its shores this festive season and is looking forward to hosting them.
Let everyone come to KwaZulu-Natal, enjoy him or herself. KwaZulu-Natal is for all of us. It's a warm and a nice place for all.